Hello, good afternoon, friends and neighbors, brothers and sisters. Welcome. This is Faisal Hassan, your member provincial parliament for York Southwestern, joining you again another Saturday. Bring your coffee and tea and any beverages you like, and let us talk. And let's hear your concerns of the week, and let's talk about the important issues of the week. My name is Faisal Hassan, and I'm your member provincial parliament for York Southwestern. Before I start, I wish to acknowledge at this time the land that we now know as York Southwestern is the traditional territory of many nations, including the Mississaugas of the Credit, the Anishinaabe, the Chippewa, the Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples, and is now home to many diverse First Nations, Inuits, Métis people. Those who are joining us Facebook, Faisal Hassan NDP, welcome. And those who are joining Instagram, Faisal Hassan NDP, welcome. And also Twitter, Faisal Hassan NDP, welcome. And also my YouTube, Faisal Hassan. YouTube, if you haven't subscribed, please do so as well. Welcome, folks, for joining me this afternoon. Quickly, this week, I have a good news, and I was also honored to take part in the grand opening of the new Freshco store that is located at Jane and Dennison on yesterday, Thursday morning, to be exact, in this week. And parts of our community are lacking in affordable access to fresh, healthy food. And this new location will be a welcome addition to the community. Stop by, please, and check it out. There are so many options there available to serve our diverse communities. Also, they have halal meat. Kabul Farmers there has also a meat section and also other varieties of different foods and cultures. I just want to share you part of that history. Here it is, folks. There you go. There you are. Okay, that is part of the history of the Freshco that opened, and it is waited for so long in our community, and I was honored to be part of that celebration, folks. So that was a great news, and there were also many members of the community who have advocated, especially folks from the Western Village Residents Association. There was also instrumental Jason Dolan, and also the Fresco have also waited there for 15 years to build this, and it has been accomplished, and that's a good news now. So check it out, folks. It is Dennison and Jane. Okay, thank you for that. Also this afternoon in our community, Jagmeet Singh, the leader of the federal NDP, passed through here. And I'll share those pictures with you later. And also joined by Hao Mire, our federal candidate, and also myself. And he talked about the importance of last mile strategy for vaccines. In our community, we have been termed high risk and also hotspots, and for him to come and encourage members of our community to get their shots and their vaccines was also very much appreciated. And we need also afford to also send resources here, so that we do the last mile strategy to reach people in our community in different methods, and also to also take this opportunity and thank also West Park Health Center for their wonderful work with their partnership with also Western Mount Dennis Community Hub here in Western Road. Also to thank here also Humber River Hospital and Women's Hospital, Women's Hospital College, that are also doing fantastic work in our community, and also the community health centers such as Unison, community health in our community right here in Jane Street that have been also very active, and also the Black Creek Community Health Center as well, that is also being also serving part of our community here in York Southwestern. We thank them and thank you very much, folks. Also, I want also to take a special opportunity, special greeting here for the birthday our friend and community activist. I would like to offer a special birthday greeting to a community member, Brandon Machado, who turned 30 years old on Thursday. And Brandon is a resident of the rustic neighborhood and also a tireless community advocate who always working to support local causes and also supports our community priorities as well. I say to Brandon Machado, who also joins us every Saturday sometimes for this forum, I want also to say to him, happy birthday, Brandon Machado. Thank you. And thank you, Wardera, for joining, and Halima as well. And those of you who are joining also Instagram, welcome. And those of you who are joining us also Twitter, welcome, and also YouTube as well. You're joining Faisal Hassan, you're a member Provincial Parliament for York Southwestern. Folks, as I just mentioned, that Jagmeet Singh was here this afternoon joining us, our federal candidate, Hawa Mire, and I also had the opportunity to join them to talk about vaccines. Vaccines are a critical part of making sure this year's school year is safe and in person without outbreaks and infection scares. The government has yet to mandate vaccines for schools. I have supported a safe September plan for school reopening that includes capped class sizes, more mental health, educational assistance, and counseling supports for students, a minimum and enforced standard for ventilation and paid sick days and family care days for everyone. When partnered with vaccinations, this plan will ensure a safe environment for schools and prevent closure in the future. And we need to put resources now rather than penny pitching that we have learned from this premier. And we need to support the schools for a safe September. Also, just give me a minute. And also this week, on Wednesday, I joined members of the Falstaff community for a meeting hosted by Toronto Community Safety Team, and residents there spoke up about the urgent need for investments in safety and security on site, and the worry and fear they experience when out in the community. I will be meeting definitely the incoming CEO next week and to also discuss the community's concerns and ways we can work together to keep the Falstaff community neighborhood, Falstaff neighborhood safe. And also what I noticed also in the night there, when you turn on Jane to Falstaff, you know, the city lights, it's not working. They're not working at all. From right there on Jane, as you turn on Falstaff, all the way to the community center, there the lights are not working there. So we need the city also to turn on those lights, you know, so that when people walk there, it's bright and clear. I know that the Toronto community has also invested lightings inside the community of Falstaff, but the outside of the TCHC property where the city comes, the city's responsibility, there isn't lightings there. And that's what surprised on Wednesday when I finished the meeting. It was a little bit late, and the lights were coming, and there were no lights at all. And that's also something we need to speak to the city councillor about it. So if you haven't written to the city council about it, please do so. It's very important that the city lights are also working in that neighborhood as well. Well, thanks. The work of also optometrists, folks, is incredibly important to our healthcare system. In Ontario, they perform over 6 million eye exams annually, and OHIP patients, just give me, somebody's calling me. I can't take any calls at the moment. Thank you. And also OHIP patients make up about 70% of the 20, somebody is just keep calling me, and I cannot take calls at the moment. So folks, just be patient with me. I won't be able to take your calls, but I'll be able to read your comments and also to share your comments and also take your questions and answer them. Okay, so the OHIP patients make up about 70% of the patients they serve in their practice. The optometrist, they serve an important role in providing preventive care, and countless seniors in our community rely on their support to live independently. I know how important they care and how much they are valued by our community. That is why I have been disappointed by the actions of this government and their unfair treatment of these important healthcare professionals, whether it is optometrists and paid PSWs or nurses spared from bargaining from their wages and bill under Bill 124. It is time this government show healthcare professionals working on the front lines the respect they deserve. And this government also says they are champion, they say they are heroes, but when it comes putting them, supporting their salary and they're also a fair compensation, they also let us down. And Mohammed here says, good job, MVP Faisal, and who is joining us on Instagram. Well, thank you, welcome. And thank you, those who are joining Faisal Hassan Facebook, and also Twitter, Faisal Hassan NDP, and also Instagram, Faisal Hassan NDP as well. Well, the Ontario Association of Optometrists highlights that Ontario optometrists are the lowest paid in the country. The Ontario government covered an average of 39.15 per eye test in 1980-89 to 32 years at $44.65. They are only covering about $5 more. This underfunding has persisted under many previous governments and is now causing foundational problems with the system. Some practitioners are choosing to take their expertise to provinces where they would be more fairly compensated, resulting in fewer available practices. And remember, folks, we only have one school, taking every year 90 students. And that's very important that we attract them and remain them in our province. And welcome, folks, those who are joining us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook and YouTube. Those practices that remain face financial crutches and struggle to be able to afford livable wages for experienced staff. Optometrists have experienced 32 years of neglect, and they are simply seeking fair compensation for their important contributions to health of Ontarians. So, folks, it's important that we acknowledge their contribution and being compensated fairly. I want to ensure seniors and community members that benefit from the work of optometrists through OHIP that I will continue to urge this government to meet optometrists at the bargaining table. Continue meeting them, sit with them, have a conversation, and make sure they're fairly compensated. You know, and the contributions of this important profession, we need a sustainable system that makes patients the focus and delivers the high level of care that Ontarians deserve. The government can begin that process by meeting with optometrists and respecting them as the important stakeholders that they are, rather than treating them as advisories. Treat them as partners, working with you to make sure they are delivering services that are needed in our community. Many seniors in our community of York Southwestern rely on this care, and they are counting on the government to act accordingly. And we need to make sure Ford Conservatives are on the table meeting folks of the optometrist. And remember, folks, every year, I believe we only have one school and we produce about 90 students a year. And now the other school is in Quebec. And that's why we need eye care, pharma care, and also dental care. Health care should be covering from head to toe. And it's important that is your card, OHIP, delivers that services for you. And everybody who needs eye care, dental care, pharma care, and any other health services. It's very important that we look after our people, especially the seniors who need those help now when they are, have contributed so much to the community. And we need to make sure that we are looking after them. Well, thank you, folks. Those who just joined, you're joining Faisal Hassan. You're a member of Provincial Parliament for York Southwestern. And I have been joining you every Saturday since the pandemic has started because the office wasn't open. And now we are planning to bring back the staff starting Monday for them to work by appointment, also to work in the office and to continue the work that we have been doing for the community. But the work has never stopped. We have been working also home, but I was also here at the office every day answering the phones and making sure your issues is tackled, dealt with, and supported. And we have been doing that and we'll continue to do that. And one of the things I've done was also to join you live every Saturday from 3 to 4 to hear your concerns. You can bring your coffee, your tea, and we could have a conversation. Also, you can bring your any private beverages you like and let us talk. And I've been available to you every Saturday from 3 to 4. And I know Saturdays, it's a beautiful day out there. It's a summer and the last couple of days of summer. And I know 3 o'clock might not be the good time to join for conversation. But folks, I did not want it to stop that commitment I've made to be accountable to you, to also make sure accessible to you so that you can join me every Saturday from 3 to 4. And we have been doing it since the beginning of the pandemic, almost a year and a half. And I'm so proud that I have kept this virtual connection with you every Saturday and making you also available to you. If you miss it, you can also able to watch it of your own time on Facebook, Faisal Hassan NDP, Twitter, Faisal Hassan NDP, and also Instagram, Faisal Hassan NDP as well. And now also we have YouTube, where you can actually subscribe and get immediate identifications as well, so that you hear and you get notifications right away. But also some of you have also said maybe we could also change from Saturday to Friday. And I think we're going to start in September. We're going ahead rather to begin joining you Fridays from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Instead of Saturdays. Starting September, the first Friday of September, I'll be joining you from 7 p.m. Not Saturdays, so that you know that at the end of August we're going to end at 3 o'clock time. So we'll also have more people able to join and also have more discussions on Fridays rather than Saturdays. Okay, so just keep that in mind. All right, and we'll do that, and I'll be happy to continue this. To hear your concerns. It's an opportunity for me to also come to you live, and that also many of you have said you prefer at 7 p.m. and we'll do it 7 to 8 then. Okay. Well, thank you very much for joining me every Saturday from 3 to 4. Well, sometimes, folks, some time ago, mental health advocates and members of the Portuguese community raised alarm at the UNH's decision to stop accepting referrals to its long-standing Portuguese language mental health program. This program also supported Spanish-speaking community members and also Cantonese and Mandarin community members who speak also in Cantonese and Mandarin as well, and was highly successful at helping individuals and families battle addiction and reduce the stigma surrounding mental health. For this purpose, because it's working, and program like that, it should be expanded, rather than eliminating it. So I wrote the Minister of Health and expressed the importance of the program and the community's desire to see it continue. The success of this program did not happen overnight. It was nurtured by the Portuguese community for years, and to disrupt this vital community resource shows little appreciation for the hard work and sacrifices of the community. For several months, we have waited patiently for a response from the minister. Just this past weekend, the Minister of Health suggested that they will be taking no further action to address the end of this program. This is not acceptable. At a time when more and more people are encountering the need for mental health services because of the pandemic, and also the mental issue is an important issue, and that's why we proposed 2018 that we needed to have an entire ministry of mental health devoted to tackle the issue of mental health. And this is also a very important to also have a culturally appropriate services programs for mental health. And these programs, like the Portuguese language mental health, has been working very well in our community. And many, it has been said, they have been serving annual of 1,000 people a year, which is specialized psychiatrist who speaks Portuguese, helping the community. And we had a town hall meeting, and we have wrote to the minister, and we cannot afford to be taking them away. We need these programs to support the Portuguese community here. And this program should serve as a model so that more communities could benefit from mental health services in their own languages. The intimate discussions between patients and mental health professionals are best accommodated in their native tongue, and are much more likely to end with positive results. The pandemic has inflicted trauma on many people, and its impacts on our mental health are well established. We have a lot of work, folks, to do to heal the wounds, and it will be a long journey. There are no shortcuts if we focus on care and avoid the impulse to cut corners and also dollar pinching. All Ontarians will benefit. When we put an end to valuable programs such as the Portuguese language mental health program, it only inflicts more pain on the very good looking, on the very people looking for help. We should expect better, and our communities deserve better, and we should insist the government views spending on mental health as an investment in the health of Ontarians rather than a cost to be dispensed with. It is part of healthcare because mental health is an important, and that's why we have said we need not just and not complete ministry, but an entire ministry, devoted to the issues of mental health. So we can tackle of also this issue once for all, and having a minister devoted to this file. That's what's needed in this in our community, and also it's needed in the province of Ontario. Also, there are many pop-ups also in our community because we need people to get also vaccines, and that also we need last mile strategy to get to people. I know Western youth also last Saturday they also had pop-up event, and thank you to the community organizations that also supported Frontlines, this wonderful, organization that is also helping our young people. Had also the community came together and supported a wonderful community block party and culinary competition this past Saturday, and Frontlines hosted the event with the support of many community organizations in our community, such as the Urban Arts, the Community Place Hub at the Western, also the Shakespeare in Action, Western Village Residents Association, 12th Division of the Toronto Police Service, Western Park Baptist Church, Early Childhood Development Initiative, and also Castle Point Numa, that are also own the property, that are also supporting our community and also the front lines. They're doing a fantastic job there. And I also want to congratulate to all winners and thank you to all the participants and also our celebrity chef guest, Roger Mooking, for serving as judge, and also the Toronto Sun's a food editor as well, Rita. And the weather was also fantastic there. We're fantastic, and I look forward to many outdoor community events in the coming weeks to celebrate together. Urban Arts did a fantastic. Of course, I love Urban Arts. They're doing a fantastic job in our community as well. And that was also fantastic, really, for them to also give a hand, the front lines, because they do a lot of support to our young folks, and also partnering also front lines is also inspiring as well. Well, thank you, folks. Those who are just joining, your member provincial parliament, Faisal Hassan. And also those who are joining YouTube. And if you haven't subscribed to my YouTube, subscribed. And also those who are joining Instagram, welcome. And also Twitter, welcome. And also Facebook, welcome as well. Also this week, folks, there was also an important celebrations. I know that our friends and members of our community have celebrated Pakistan's Independence Day and also India's Independence Day. August 14 was a Pakistan's Independence Day, and also August 15th was India Independence Day. So we also celebrated and joined our friends as well for that celebration. Happy Independence Day to our friends from the Pakistani and Indian communities. Pakistan celebrated its independence on Saturday, August 14th, followed by India's independence celebration on August 15th. I hope members of each community found an opportunity to enjoy Independence Day festivities, celebrations, and take pride in their wonderful cultures and also pride as well. Well, thank you for joining me again. Quickly, I'll take some comments from those who have joined Instagram as well as also Facebook. I'll just start with Facebook quickly. And Frank says, thank you for holding this weekly talk this lovely Saturday, Brother Faisal. Thank you. Well, thank you, Frank, for joining me. Thank you very much. And also, shouting out also your friend Faisal Ahmad, who's also doing a fantastic job supporting also students as he's a teacher as well. So I know it's a slip of the tongue, but thank you, Frank. Um, and as well, also I welcome also folks from also Andrew and also others as well who are joining who are joining us on Instagram as well. And also, the government continues to ignore calls to take stronger action on safe September school return in September. Months ago, I urged the government to proactively reach out to families and overcome barriers to increased vaccination rates among young people. To protect the vulnerable, we need to make September safer by investing in classroom ventilation, reduce class sizes, make vaccinations mandatory for all education workers and eligible students. Parents want their children back in school face to face, but they need assurances that their cherished young ones will be in a safe environment in September. Well, thank you, folks, for joining us. And quickly on Instagram, I see our friend 16 I6VE, who's joining us. Welcome. Says continue engaging our community. We appreciate you. Well, thank you very much for your continued support and encouragement. And I know that I will not take anything for granted. I will work harder and harder to earn your trust and confidence. Our community needs a strong voice, and I want to be that voice for our community. I know that this community have been neglected the last 15 years, and we know that we have lost the 2 hospitals. We had a 200 church and also an Ingram and Kill. They are gone. These was hospitals that were serving our community. And we know that housing is crisis, childcare is a crisis, auto insurance is crisis, and all these issues have been also impacted in our community. And that this is also, we need to move away from those neglect, and we need investment and resources, and we need to have that voice. And I want to fight for resources and make sure our community is any longer ignored. We have seen the record of Kathleen Wynne promising when elections happening and not delivering when she's in government, the same as Dalton McGuinty, her former boss. And also we know also the history of Mike Harris and Ernie Eves, and now the opportunity that the Progressive Conservatives had to do things right, but we have also seen that they are worse. We've seen bad from bad to worse. We need a better to make sure this community has a voice, and hopefully next year we will have a government that the people of Ontario deserve, that puts people first and delivers services and programs that is much needed in our community. We have been fighting day in and day out resources. It took us about September of last year to have a testing center for vaccines at 200 Church Street. And to this day, we don't have a permanent vaccine location where we can direct everyday people to go and get their vaccines. We have been lucky to have pop-ups, and that's good. But it's open one day here, one day there, one day there. That's not enough. But if we could have resources early on and vision, if they could have listened to us and also put resources areas where it has been termed high risk and also hotspots, things would have been much better. So they were slow to act and slow to deliver services and programs, but still we have many issues that we need to be supported in our community. So I will continue, my friend, and I thank you for your encouragement and also support for me, and thank you also for joining me today in Instagram as well. And folks, this afternoon also we had the federal NDP leader Jagmeet Singh coming to our community, and I had also the opportunity to welcome him in York Southwestern, and we were joined by also our federal NDP candidate Hawa Mire, and I was pleased for him to drop by today as he has a busy schedule to go coast to coast in the country as he campaigns for next Prime Minister of Canada. So please check out our federal candidate, Hawa Mire, is running to be the next MP in our community. Her headquarters is actually located 2567 Eglinton Avenue West. That is in the heart of Kilsdale, Kill Street and Eglinton. So folks, drop by there if you have the time, and please help her as much as you can, anything you can, to elect her to be the next member of Parliament. Okay, and thus I was also happy to welcome in our community Jagmeet Singh, our federal NDP leader, and Hawa was also there to also welcome him in our community. I'll be sharing you those pictures shortly after I finish our conversation this afternoon, so that you can also reshare and also like and also do that as well, because we need to have an NDP, a federal member of Parliament, to help this community. We need a partner that we can work on housing. For example, I'll tell you this story of housing. In 1995, John Cratchit, the Prime Minister of a Liberal Prime Minister, has said that he's getting out of the housing business and that he's going to download housing to provincial jurisdictions. And all those provincial jurisdictions, then in Ontario, the Mike Harris was the premier, and what did he do? He downloaded to municipalities. And when that happened, what happened is the municipalities, they could not support. And now we see also American billionaires coming to spend $1 billion to buy a lot of properties to make profit. We have to stop that. And we need to make sure, we tackle these flippers and also speculators. And I talked many months since I've been joining you about our housing plan that Andrea Horvath has talked about. And I have talked about it. We need to give our community and the people of Ontario options when it comes to housing, and providing 10% down payment. Anybody who makes less than 200,000, if you make, say, anything annually less than 200,000, you're eligible to get 10% of the worth down payment, and that is also an equity that you give it back, or you pay it back at the end when you sold that house. And I think that's what's needed for some people who can afford a mortgage. What about others who cannot? Then we should be able to provide other options by building more co-ops and also a more housing support, so that we give people option and provide assistance to them. And we need a federal MP that I can work with, who can be a partner, not a federal MP who comes to York Southwestern and invites John Tory and invites the city councillor, and also not invite a provincial member of parliament about issues of housing. And the housing plan is to partner corporations and for profit, where they give money to private corporations, but then they say they're going to provide affordable housing. And those affordable housing is not affordable, because when you ask them, what does it mean affordable? They won't be able to tell you. And we also have the same story, which the previous elected members have supported, the 22 John Street. We've lost our farmers market, and now we have 22 John Street, a private housing corporation, a private rentals, but no one can afford. No one can afford. So they have to look for people elsewhere to move and rent it. And there's nothing here, And so this is a challenge. They said it's affordable, but it's not. So the same thing that these federal liberals are supporting, to simply give money to these corporations to suggest that it's going to support our seniors, but I'm not sure if our seniors are going to be able to afford it, because we know the experience of 22 John Street. So that's why we need a federal partner that can work with us to actually solve once and for all the housing crisis. And when you elect NDP, you get results. It's that simple. You get results. You get a hardworking MPPs that really put your issues number one. Returns your calls and serves you, and also deals with the issues of the casework, because others, they don't like casework. We do love casework, because that's what it's important to help the community. The constituency office, the community office is here to tackle your casework and your case issues. But for me, I'm dealing with provincial issues, but we need also a partner we can work with federally in that regard. So folks, check it out. Her headquarters is 2567 Eglinton Avenue West. Check it out, volunteer, help out. The election will be September 20. All right, thank you very much, folks who are joining me this afternoon. You're joining Faisal Hassan. You're a member of provincial parliament for York Southwestern, and as I also said again and again, that I'm going to be accountable to you. I'll be available to you virtually, since you are just confined homes, and this is the only way you could actually connect me, and that was started during the pandemic and continues. We're still in the pandemic, so I have made those commitment and will continue to do that. But many of you have requested Saturdays is it's not a good time to join you from 3 to 4, so we are going to move into Fridays. Every Friday from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. I'll be joining you, so that we continue this conversation, so that I can hear your comments and I can also hear your question as well for joining me. That's very important as well. Okay, just give me a minute. Well, thank you. And quickly, this morning actually, I had an interview about auto insurance and the postal code issue, and some people was telling me about the the average, how much member of our community pays. They pay over 3,000 or more for auto insurance annually, and that is unacceptable. And we know that in the pandemic also, people were homes and the cars were parked on driveways, and we also asked these insurance companies to provide a break, relief for drivers, and that hasn't happened. I was told there was some relief of $10, $20 one time, and so on, but we should be giving 50% relief, to the drivers, and that's very important, folks. That we do. Excuse me. That we do, and postal code discrimination must end, and it shouldn't be based on your postal code, a determination of where you live with regard to auto insurance. It should only be based on the car you drive and your and also your driving record. That's the only thing auto insurance should be based, not your postal code or your credit history or other things they talk about. They say, oh, it's because of the density of your community, but Toronto is a heavily populated city, and every community is populated. Some communities receive less, they pay a lower auto insurance premium rates compared to Scarborough, Brampton, or our community. And this is not acceptable, and we need to end this. As you know that I've been fighting on this, and I'll continue to fight as a member of provincial parliament. We also want to also tackle the important issues in our community. For example, childcare is also, the affordability issues is a big issue in our community, in many communities across the province, and we need to tackle that. It's very important that we do. Just give me a minute. Sorry about that. I'm just losing my voice, but I hope you can hear me well. It has been a long Saturday, and definitely I've kept my commitment to be available to you every Saturday from 3 to 4 to join you. And since we've started, since last year, when the pandemic hit, I'll continue. I've been continuing to meeting with you, and I'll continue from 3 to 4. But starting September, we're going to start Fridays from 7 to 8. That way, we'll be able to also catch you, more of you, and also bring to you more issues that you care about. I know the weather is beautiful. Sorry. Many of you are enjoying the weather, the beautiful weather, and it's lovely, but also it's not a good idea to join me from 3 to 4 at this time, but you can actually watch later. It will be there on Facebook. It will be there also on Twitter. It will be also there on Instagram and also YouTube. So you can also watch your own time, keep watching it, and that way also you have it also what we have discussed today, and also the comments of your neighbors and the questions they have asked, and that's also very good. So there's also, if you miss it, then it's there as well for you to also to watch it later as well. Well, thank you, folks. This is your member of provincial parliament, Faisal Hassan, and you're joining me through Instagram, Faisal Hassan NDP, Twitter, Faisal Hassan NDP, and YouTube. and also Facebook page, Faisal Hassan NDP as well. Welcome, folks who are joining, and if you haven't subscribed my YouTube, please do so as well. And I know that this week we also I was happy to join on Thursday the official grand opening of Fresco that was opened right here, Jane and Denison, and also a piece of history. Also, I want to share with you also, and also Fresco right there. You can see that, you see, there you are. You see, there it is, and you can also see that way as well, and this is also the ribbon cutting, part of the cutting. Philip was so generous, the owner, to also give me piece of that as well. So it is a grocery, and many of members of our community want fresh vegetables, fresh food. Also, in addition, you also have a halal meat as well there, because Kabul farmers also have their butchers there. So you can actually get what you need, other groceries, and also you can also get a good halal meat there as well. And that's also very surprising. And also the officials actually of Fresco, the management people, told me this is not their first Kabul farm addition to the grocery store of Fresco. They also have others in many places in Mississauga, and also Jane and Finch as well. And I didn't know that before, but this is a fantastic, folks. I know the Kabul farmers were just a small butcher right here. They started in close to our community, Jane and Wilson, right here on the border in our community. But it was very famous. I've actually gotten many times that butcher from Kabul farms there. And now Fresco, right here in Jane and Denison, is actually have there. So you don't have to even go to the Kabul farmers. You could go anywhere and get it there for your halal meat as well. And that's really refreshing, and is excellent how they are trying to accommodate diversity as well. And that was very amazing, I saw it. And thanks to Philip and also the higher management of Fresco store, and that is really eye-opening that they are also doing that. I also heard they have done that also in Manitoba and other locations as well. Sorry, today. And the location, folks, is right here at the Jane and Denison as well. And this Fresco location, Frank says, was long waited since about 2006, 15 years later, but worth the wait. Absolutely. And they actually had the land for 15 years, holding it for 15 years. They had so many obstacles, issues, but they overcome. And now here it is. I want also to thank also the work of the Western Village Residents Association, especially Jason Dolan, who also has been instrumental and also advocating for having also a fresh grocery store in our community. And this is also the hardworking also members of our community that are also advocating on behalf of the community about grocery stores and also fresh food and so on and so on. We also lost the Asian market right here in front of my office. That was a huge place, in our community, but that is gone. And now we have a Dollarama there. But people are going far away to shop. Still, I think this is Denison is an addition, appreciated, is very close. And you're right, Frank, it was worth the wait. Absolutely. And that was very, people have waited that long. But hey, folks, if you missed it, the ribbon cutting that I had, I want to share with you. There it is, folks. You know, and that's very good. It's part of the history at at the fresco here in the community. There you have it. So it's worth the wait, folks. So 15 years is a long time, but there you have it, folks. And that's a very important that that is close to. Definitely, we need more groceries. We need more food that is closer to you in your communities. And I think this will also an excellent idea, and I welcome that. And I was so happy to join them for their grand opening on Thursday. And thank you, those of you also who have supported this, and thanks to also the folks who are really also addition to is that local folks are getting jobs. I was told close to 140 people in our community have also been hired for jobs. I don't know if they are all full time or part time, but it is good that they are employed now, and it creates jobs right here in our community. And that's good news, and I do support and welcome that, because we need to put our community to work, to provide them training and also job opportunities. And this also is also good. It also creates the members of the community to shop, but also creates also jobs for members, especially our young people, to work there while they go to school. It's a great opportunity for them to have the first experience of working. And also, it's great to have that as well. So it was great. Well, thank you for joining me, and this afternoon. I know that I am coming to the end of my program. I join you from 3 o'clock to 4 p.m., and I know that just my friend Patrick Corey just joined in Instagram. Welcome, Patrick. Patrick does a fantastic job. He also has his own radio. I was also a guest for his radio as well, and I'm just shouting out his name because we need people like him, contributing in our community. And he has done so much help in our community. And I was so happy to support him as he fights for his rights to continue staying and also helping his community. Well, thank you. And Nasra, also welcome for joining us as well. And you are also welcome today. And also, I want to thank also everyone who have joined us, this afternoon in Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and also YouTube. Patrick, I will just take a quick comment. Patrick wrote, Patrick Corey says, thanks, and we are appreciative you taking time. We appreciate you taking time to be great representative and the people's leader. Well, thank you, Patrick. As I said earlier as well, I will continue to earn your trust and confidence to work harder and harder to fight for you and your families, because this community have been neglected for the past 15 years, and we have seen the last 3 years and the last 2 months what has happened in our community. We are fighting every issues. We have become an afterthought, and this has to come to end. This community deserves an equal opportunity for every field, and we need to make sure that the community is also having opportunities. And I'm going to continue to fight. And I know that next year there will be an election, and that election is going to be very important. But now also we have a federal election which is happening in September 20th. We need NDP federal members of parliament, because when you elect NDP, they deliver results. They get results for the community. And it's important that you keep that in mind while you vote on this upcoming election as well. Well, folks, That's it for me. It has arrived at 4 p.m. And that's it. Hopefully, I will see you again, definitely. And looking forward to also chatting you again next Saturday from 3 to 4, because this will be, I believe, the last Saturday will be the next Saturday of August. And after that, I'll be joining you every Friday. We are switching because you have requested to do so, and we're going to start from 7 p.m., 7 to 8 every Friday from now on. But the next this month, August will be the last Saturdays that we're going to have our coffee and tea. Always, folks, stay safe and well, wash your hands, and practice social distancing and take care of each other. Until then,